What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are taking a look at the all-new Ford Mustang. This is a 5-liter GT convertible automatic, so it is the complete other side of the spectrum compared to the Dark Horse we reviewed recently. Go check out that video in the top right corner. That was a coupe manual gearbox, more focused on like proper driving, bit of track driving as well. This is a proper cruiser with the automatic and the V8. It is glorious. I think this is such a cool car, and I'm really happy that it's still here. You know, it's the last proper V8 pony car that you can buy. The Camaro and the Challenger are both gone, and they will be back probably in different forms, but not in this form. And luckily the Mustang is still standing. So today I'm going to show you around it. We'll take a look at the spec, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. So this is a vapor blue car we've got, which is a unicolor, sort of a grey blue. Fits the car well, I have to say. And at the front you can already see a couple differences compared to the Dark Horse, because it is a little bit less open, a little bit less aggressive. This is closed off, for instance, and this as well. With the Dark Horse, this was open and there was an intake behind that. You also have a chrome pony there in the front. Same heat extraction vent in the bonnet. And in general, it is, you know, it's called the S650. It's the 7th generation Mustang officially, but it is an evolution of the S550, the previous generation. You do see that, but I feel that they've done a good job modernizing it, especially if you look at these headlights with the 3 units, both for the DRLs and the headlights below that. It looks really good, it looks modern. It looks a bit angry, but not too much. I still think it's a beautiful car to look at. It's a well-proportioned car as well. You don't get the smoked headlights like on the Dark Horse, but it still looks very good, I think. It looks a bit old school. It's a bit of an old school car, of course. You even have a proper antenna back there, but I still think it works. Yeah. Okay, wheels and tires and brakes. These are the 19-inch in this sort of gunmetal grey. Pirelli P0s around that. This is a 255 at the front. And behind that we've got Brembo brakes. I think these are the same brakes as on the Dark Horse. So 390mm steel brakes and 6 pots at the front, 4 pot at the rear. Very good brakes. Brake pedal is good. Braking performance is good. So yeah, really happy with that. And we also have the MagneRide suspension, which is the adaptive suspension, which works very well. It's awesome. 5-liter badge as well on the side there, and this is the convertible. As you can see, here's no roof, so that means that you have a convertible. It is like a proper old school rag top, which is cool. 275s at the rear, and then we've got the regular steel stainless steel tips for the exhaust instead of the black ones of the Dark Horse. But it's kind of a weird color difference here, right? This is like more of a golden tint, and this is silver. And that goes for both sides. So I don't know if is that supposed to be that way? Or is that just because this gets more heat, or because the valve is in there as well? I don't know. Anyway, very handsome rear end as well, with this crease running across. Also the 3 rear light units with the crease in there. And you also get an animation. So I don't know if you get an animation in the rear. Turn that off. Automatic. So you get this like greeting. If you turn it on, or if you unlock it, I should say, you get this like bleep bleep bleep, hello hello. Your car saying hello to you. And so this is the top, and you have this open part here, and I found these covers. I think this is supposed to go here, right? So you put that in there, and then that goes in there. Probably something like this. Oh, well, exactly like this. I just did it. But then you're covering the roof. So I don't think you're supposed to leave it there. I think it's supposed to be like semi-permanent option, which is kind of strange. But anyway, I like it. It's a very simple solution, and I kind of appreciate that. But yeah, I don't know if I've seen that before. So engine is the 4th generation Coyote 5-liter V8, and it is as glorious as ever. 446 horsepower, 540 newton meters of torque is what we're getting here in Europe because of regulations, OPF, exhaust, blah blah blah, boring. So the US version actually has 486, if I'm not mistaken, and the Dark Horse we drove earlier has 453, so only 7 horsepower extra. And the Dark Horse in the US has like 500 plus. So yeah, we get like the light versions, but still it is a great engine, and of course the potential is still there. So if you go like OPF delete, or you put a proper supercharger on here, they develop some serious power. So yeah, the potential is still there, but even with 446 horsepower and this automatic gearbox, it actually feels faster than it would seem, you know, with the power on paper. So that is quite nice, because the car weighs 1830 kilos, the convertible automatic. That's what it says on the papers of this car, at least, which means that it's only 60 kilos heavier than the manual coupe Dark Horse we drove earlier this week. So I don't know if that is really true, because that would seem a bit weird, but if that's true, that's quite impressive. So rear seat space is very limited, perfect for smaller humans or children humans, but not for adults really. Or you know, if you have very short adults, then it will work. But yeah, it's not super spacious. Let's get the roof up so I can show you that as well, because I think it looks quite good with the roof up as well. With an old school click. Love that. So I think this looks cool as well. I think the roof is it has quite a good line, and I just always prefer a rag top over a hard top. I think this is much nicer. More of a convertible vibe just in general, I think. When it comes to the interior, they basically did the same as the exterior. So you have the bones of the old one. You still have the double thing here in the interior. The seats are very similar, but they are really good actually, very comfy. Really good cruising seat. And then they modernized it with this dual screen setup. So just start it up. So I can show you guys the dials. Everything is highly customizable. Of course, with this system, it runs on Unreal Engine, which is a gaming engine, and it's good. Most of it is good. Everything is, you know, you can find everything relatively easily. You can customize everything. You have your track apps, you have the gauges, stuff like that. It all looks really good. And then you can have your gauge cluster depending on the driving mode, or you can select a separate one. So this is normal, looks good. Sport, don't like that, not really clear to read. Racetrack, we know that one, with the big rev counter on top. And then you have this calm one. And then you have the Fox Body 8793. This is the one I've been running, which I think it looks so cool. I don't understand why more car manufacturers don't do that, because it's super retro. It you know, you throw back to the past, to cool things you've done in the past, and then you take it and you modernize it, and it looks very good. Because of the high, you have a high frame rate, and it just looks very clean. It's clear to read. It's very good. I think a lot of car manufacturers should have a look at this, because it's simple. You can adjust this center screen here. Other than that, you know, that's it. You don't need anything else. You need a proper rev counter, and you need a speedo that is clear to read, and then you have a couple settings in the middle. Perfect. The system Although it looks good, it is a bit laggy. Sometimes also this driving mode switch takes a bit too much time if you ask me. But also when you're in this menu, things take a while sometimes. And yeah, I think that's something they can work on. But it is suitable for over-the-air updates, so we're probably getting more of these retro dials from the past, which is very cool. Also, sound, very, very good. This is track mode, so the valve is now open and you have this really cool idle. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so let's go for a little drive. We're going to check out what it's like on this B road first. We also have this new handbrake, which is basically an e-brake, but then they have shaped the handle like a proper handbrake, and you have a drift handbrake basically. So drift brake, engage that, traction control off. And I'll try to show you guys. I've done so with the Dark Horse as well, but with the manual it kind of feels more, I don't know, more logical than with the automatic, but we'll see what it does. Of course, we do have to turn off the lane keep assist every time we get in, and you also have to turn off the... See, that's taking a bit too long. Speed limit warning, turn that off as well, super annoying. Okay, other than that, it all works really well. See, the response is very good and it works well, but sometimes the switching between menus can take a while. Okay, manual, this is also great, by the way. This just like proper gear lever, feels very solid. Normally on track you would use this to instigate like a drift, but we can use it to have like a handbrake turn. So it basically locks the rear wheels, and you can keep it that way, or you can just do like a short one to get like a 180 or something like that, or a quick drift, or it just worked really well, because they said with the introduction of an electronic parking brake, handbrake turns disappeared, and they wanted to bring them back. So yeah, I like that. I like this approach to just driving fun that you only seem to find with US car manufacturers. It's a lot less serious, and it's completely the opposite of what a lot of European or German car manufacturers are doing. It's getting more serious and faster, and of course it's getting better as well, but is it getting more fun? I'm not so sure. Anyway, lovely steering wheel as well, and driving wise, oh, listen to that. Driving wise, I quite like it. It feels solid. The suspension feels good, the MagneRide, and as I said, it kind of feels faster than it actually is, and that's mainly down to the fact that the engine is naturally aspirated, and it just develops power, you know, along the rev range, so you get more power the more revs you make, but also because you have a 10-speed automatic gearbox, the gears are so short that it kind of feels like you're always like boop, boop, boop. It's really cool. So let's do a launch, and for that we're going to put it in drag strip mode, which is going to soften the rear dampers but also make the shifts more aggressive. So full throttle, and that's 100 kilometers an hour. And I did 5 seconds, around 5 seconds. It's supposed to do 4.9, I think. But yeah, it definitely will do that. It's It's not, I mean, 4.9 seconds, it's not that fast, but I just don't care. I don't care. It's more than fast enough, and you just, oh, you can just have some fun. Also, you're not going super quick on a B road, so it means that you can actually enjoy it, even though it feels like you're going faster, which is great. That's a great combination. So let's close the roof for the Autobahn, which is coming up. You can just do that here. Boom. Also, listen to this rev limiter, by the way. It's so good. Oh, it sounds glorious. But before we hit the Autobahn, I want to tell you about Petrol Vibes. This is their newest edition, a neon track silhouette, basically, with all the numbers and names of corners, the different sectors. It looks absolutely amazing here in our workshop. They still also have the regular wall art car silhouettes, the 2mm thick steel that has been laser cut. Their designs are just gorgeous, and you can also submit your own car to their website and they will make a custom silhouette of your car with all your accessories, your modifications. It looks absolutely insane. We've had one made of a Toyota Supra recently and it is just gorgeous. We've got a lot of BMWs here in the workshop. We've got a couple of cool cars up in the sim room as well. And if you want one of these things, holidays are coming up. Perfect gift for yourself or any other petrol head. Make sure you check out Petrol Vibes and use code AUTOTOPNL10 for a 10% discount. Enjoy the video. The suspension is really good, it absorbs everything, it keeps you level, it also scans the road ahead to check for potholes and then lift a wheel basically, so it doesn't dip into the pothole. There's pretty clever stuff going on, but it still feels like just such a friendly car, and I don't know, it's just very enjoyable to drive. Here we go, onto the Autobahn. Quick shifts, short gears of course, because you have 10 gears. And I did 10.1, 100 to 200, which is pretty good actually. Top speed is limited at 250 kilometers an hour. And that is it, that's the limiter. 251 on the speedo. Good brakes. Oh. So the dark horse, the manual dark horse, it was very involving to drive. It challenges you to have fun and to extract everything from it. This is a completely different animal with this gearbox, and especially the convertible. It's so easy to drive. It feels like a really good companion for a road trip. Seats are really good, very comfortable. Yeah, it's I don't have a lot to complain here. I just feel like they nailed it, and I feel like the US car manufacturers, they tend to nail these cars. They're not that complicated. They don't invest that much money in the next generation apart from this whole deal. They just know how to improve it. They know what we like, basically, what the customers like. And they just sort of seem to hit exactly the right points. They also steer into that whole retro thing so much better. And I feel like, especially, I've been relatively critical of BMW and Mercedes in the last few years, because to me it feels like they are just abandoning everything that they've built, and with that it feels like they're abandoning us as well, as petrol heads, but also as previous owners or current owners. It feels like they're just saying to me like, we don't care about you. We want to attract new people that like different stuff than you. People who like, you know, fake sound and screens, and they don't care about petrolhead stuff. That's what it feels like to me. Maybe I'm a baby. Maybe I'm a big baby, but I feel like these guys get it. That's my point. They don't seem to be in a rush to get away from what they've done in the past, hence the retro dials. They seem to embrace it, modernize it, and they do so fantastically well. Suspension in track mode, and I can actually feel the changes, the tweaks going on. That's weird. Let me just go to normal mode and see what that feels like. So normal. That's strange. It felt like it was sort of moving around a little bit, like it was adjusting. Stupid lane assist. Ups. So shifts are definitely slower in normal mode. You can hear and feel that. Oh, the suspension is very good. I like it because it feels quite solid and firm. Oh yeah, the suspension is definitely softer in this mode. Oh, that's a big difference. Whoa! But it's very solid, this Magna ride. The car, the entire car feels solid. Apart from that bonnet, you can see it vibrating. I don't like that. But yeah, what a car! What a car! I love it. I feel like they've improved it so much, and it's even better than before. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you want to watch another one, you can check out this one. You can check out this playlist of reviews. Make sure you subscribe by clicking the big button. That always helps us out, and I hope to see you at the next one. Bye guys.